Welcome to Networks Professionals.
Welcome to the Explainer. You know, every single day, literally millions of pieces of AI-generated art, text, and video are just flooding our feeds. We're talking about a volume of content creation that would have taken human history centuries to produce, and it's happening in, well, mere hours. Today, we're exploring this massive shift happening right in front of our eyes, or I guess right on our screens and in our headphones. We're looking at how artificial intelligence is rapidly reshaping our everyday media. Now, I know there's a lot of noise out there, a lot of panic about AI completely replacing human artists. But actually, the data and current industry trends point to a very different reality. AI isn't really acting as a human replacement. Instead, it's emerging as a tremendously powerful creative co-pilot. So we're going to break down exactly how this tech collaborates with human imagination to totally redefine the entertainment industry. Okay, let's dive into this. The foundational concept for our journey today is AIGC, or AI-generated content. When we talk about AIGC in entertainment, we're basically talking about a system that automates the incredibly complex, super labor-intensive parts of production, while at the exact same time offering these hyper-personalized experiences to you, the end user. Think of it like this. As a creative co-pilot, generative AI has this almost magical ability to take something as basic as a simple text command and just turn it into reality. Imagine typing a neon-soaked cyberpunk city at dusk with flying cars, and boom, instantly getting a fully rendered, explorable 3D model. Or humming a few rough notes into your phone and getting a full, sweeping orchestral arrangement back. It's essentially taking the friction right out of the creative process. It lets creators move instantly from a spark of a thought straight to execution. To get a real sense of the scope here, we're going to take a quick thematic tour. First up, we'll hit leveling up in gaming. Then we'll move into movie magic and machine learning. And finally, we'll wrap up with the algorithm of music, interactive, visual, and auditory. Section 1, leveling up, gaming, building dynamic worlds. Let's jump into the interactive realm, which is honestly where this tech is moving the absolute fastest and changing how we experience digital spaces. And this brilliantly illustrates the core evolution in video games right now. We are seeing a massive, fundamental shift from static to dynamic. The old way? It was entirely pre-scripted. Every single pine tree, every rock, every enemy patrol path, and literally every line of dialogue had to be manually coded and placed by some exhausted human developer. Studios would literally spend hundreds of hours just, planting digital forests. But the new way is all about adaptive gameplay. AI is constructing dynamic experiences that actually react and shift based on what you, the player, are doing in the exact moment you're doing it. We're moving away from rigid worlds that were just built for you to fluid worlds that are actively generated around you. To really understand how that adaptive gameplay actually works, let's look at three main pillars. First up, procedural content generation. AI algorithms are dynamically creating game environments, terrain, and even complex quests totally on the fly. This means endless exploration, right? Because the world is essentially building itself just over the horizon as you walk toward it. Second, smart NPCs. Instead of a character repeating the exact same pre-recorded line, the classic arrow to the knee, every single time you walk by, these NPCs use AI to remember past interactions. They adapt to your behavior. They're generating totally unique, highly realistic dialogue in real time, like you actually converse with them. And third, adaptive difficulty. Games are now using machine learning to literally watch how you play, and then dynamically scaling the difficulty. It keeps you perfectly engaged at your specific skill level, so never too easy and never too punishing. It's pretty wild. Section 2, movie magic and machine learning. From scripts to screens. Let's move to and see how this builds in Hollywood, where AI is stepping in to completely upend the traditional production pipeline. So the crucial point is how AI's impact is basically splitting film production right down the middle, totally revolutionizing both ends of the process. In pre-production, studios are crunching massive historical data sets of audience habits to carefully refine scripts before a single frame is ever even shot. They're also using computer vision to digitally scout the perfect shooting locations right from an office chair. No more flying camera crews all over the globe just to check out a landscape. Then we hit post-production. And man, this is where things get truly futuristic. We're talking deepfakes, AI-driven visual effects, and entirely new cinematic video generation. Advanced text-to-video tools, think OpenAI's Sora or Google Veo, are now capable of generating high-definition, physics-accurate video directly from simple text prompts. It is completely redefining what happens both before the cameras roll and long after they stop. Now, what's really interesting here is how AI is taking over the notoriously difficult frame-by-frame tasks that used to keep animators up for weeks straight, fueled by nothing but cold pizza and coffee. It's doing the heavy lifting for seamlessly de-aging actors, which saves studios absolutely millions in makeup and manual touch-ups. It's handling voice cloning too, so an actor doesn't have to spend 3 days locked in a cramped sound booth doing re-records just because an airplane happened to fly over the set. But maybe the most mind-blowing part, AI calculating lifelike physics, rendering realistic water, chaotic fire, billows of smoke. These are incredibly complex natural elements that normally take immense computing power and human time to animate. AI just handles these physics calculations beautifully. It creates hyper-realistic effects in an absolute fraction of the time, which frees up visual artists to actually focus on the overall creative composition. Section 3. The algorithm of music, the sound of the future. We've covered the interactive and the visual, so now let's step into the recording studio. Here, AI is acting deeply as a musical co-creator. We're already seeing the immediate practical applications of this tech for artists and producers everywhere. Platforms like Ava and Amber Music instantly generate adaptive background music and full soundtracks for films and commercials. But look, it goes way beyond just churning out generic elevator music. These tools are effectively a cure for writer's block. They act as collaborative partners. It's like having an infinitely patient sparring partner to test out new chord progressions, brainstorm experimental melodies, or even independently generate full musical scores from scratch just to give you a starting point. It fundamentally changes that dreaded blank page syndrome that literally every creator faces. And it's not just the instruments either, it's the human voice itself. Artists are employing deep learning tools to expand their vocal capabilities far beyond their own physical, biological limits. Through vocal synthesis tools, we are seeing the incredible rise of voice cloning and the creation of entirely virtual vocalists. What this actually means is a complete democratization of epic production skills. Think about it. A single independent producer sitting in their bedroom studio can now act as a conductor for a massive, hyper-realistic virtual choir. The artist provides the creative direction and the core melody, and the AI co-pilot synthesizes 100 unique, perfectly harmonious voices to sing it right back to them. It's a real game changer. Section 4. Your personalized reality. AI at your fingertips. Now, let's bring all these abstract, industry-level concepts directly down to your everyday experience.
Because honestly, the absolute climax of all this generative technology isn't just about making a blockbuster movie cheaper or an open-world game larger. It's about hyper-personalization for you. Think about your daily commute or, your gym routine. Streaming platforms like Spotify utilize complex algorithms to constantly analyze your specific listening history. They take massive, mind-boggling global data sets and filter them perfectly through the lens of your unique taste. The result? AI-curated, hyper-personalized playlists that almost seem to read your mind. This is the Copilot working directly for you. It turns an infinite, overwhelming library of global music into a customized, everyday listening experience tailored just for your ears.
Which brings us to our final thought. We've seen how AIGC automates the incredibly complex physics of fire and smoke in blockbuster movies. We've seen it generate endless adaptive worlds in gaming and synthesize entire virtual choirs for independent musicians. The heavy lifting of production is rapidly, relentlessly being automated. So the question I want to leave you with today is this. If AI is the co-pilot handling the execution, where will human creativity steer us next? Because ultimately, the future of entertainment isn't really about what the machine can make, it's about what you can imagine. Thanks for
Thanks for watching.